Alright, so what's up, you guys? Good morning. Alright, so in this stream, we will be continue on building the students management application, which is a project for one of my clients. I took the permission to build the project in my YouTube channel, and they said yes. Okay, so that's the first thing. The second thing is, yesterday I streamed for about 3 hours, and the problem is I didn't expect anyone to join, and some people joined and they wrote the chat, but I didn't pay attention. So that was embarrassing. My apologies. So now, to avoid that, I've put, as you can see on the right side, I have the chat, so we don't fall on the same mistake per se. Alright, as you can see, we have our Django app over here. And well, the progress we've done, basically we created the front end, so the students management app. Maybe we can improve the style today if we got time. We have this table, which basically helps us with let me go, yep. Alright, let me share the link on Twitter. So the table basically enables you to like change data, first name, last name. You can check if they're active or not. So this is like not active, nothing. This is active, this is not active. And then you can choose the country per se. You can select all, you can unselect, you can add a new one to add new data. You can undo edits, for example, if you change this and then undo this edit. I'm not sure how this how we can apply this or like make it work after we make the data persist into the database in the backend, but we will work on that. Let's see what we can do about it. So now let's get going. Alright, YouTube chat, let's go with live chat. Let's get going. Alright, so we got the backend. So that basically what we're gonna do in this live, hopefully, is make now the data, if we for example refresh the page, everything gets back to the default data. What I want is every change in this table, it should persist into the database using the if I brought the HTTP client. So the current backend or the current API we have the students endpoint, and we have the students slash primary key endpoint. So this endpoint, if you want to get a specific student, and this if you want to create or list all students. I have the Django REST framework, which helps us with creating the those endpoints per se. This was an experimental one, we don't need this anymore. And this loads the index page. We could have used a class, okay, class page, a class view. Where was it? Where would it be? Like Django, from Django.views, import class create view, not template view. No. It would be Django template tags views. I think it's a views dot generic templates import index create view template view. Nice. Then here we can just say template view, and in the template name we can pass this instead. And then here in the URLs we can say it would be views dot, what did we name it over here? Model view, no, we call it index and then here URLs, it would be index.asView, and then we'll remove this part. Now if we save and we got back to this table, refresh, it should be working. Where's the server? Has no attribute index. How is that? Index views index. Yep, we didn't save this. Has no attribute students. Views the students. Huh? How is it importing students? Students. Oh yeah, this, we don't need this anymore. And yeah, cool. So now we have all of them as class-based views. Alright. So what we're gonna do now is, okay, let me show you how this API works. So basically, this is that if I make a GET request to this endpoint, I get all students as the JSON array, and if I created a post request with the data I want, it's gonna create a new one with a new primary key, the 18th primary key. If I created another one, it's gonna be 19, and so on. So it increments automatically, and then I can access a specific student by its primary key. So for example, if I want student number 1, I get, and this is number 1. If I want for number 10, I get number 10, Stuart. Alright, and then I can also use another all other HTTP requests. For example, I can delete. So if I want to delete this, so it's primary key number 10, Stuart, etc. I can delete it. It returns nothing. Now if I got back to the to get students, if we look up number 10, it doesn't exist anymore. So we have 8, 9, then 11. I know the font is a bit small, so let me scale. We have 9, then 11. Okay, so 8, 9, because we removed 10. You could also update. So for example, let's go with number 1. We can say students number 1, and we can use the put request, and then instead of Christine, we can say Chris, for example, and but I don't think it's bot, it should be patch, yep. No, also not this. Okay, retrieve, update, destroy. Huh. It's not bot, it's not a post. Is it a post? Via post, okay, but there does not end in slash. Okay, we need another slash, and it's not post, it's bot. Yep, so now it's Chris. Now if we got all the students again, it's gonna be Chris instead of Christine. The thing that caused the URL, because we have this, otherwise it would work just perfectly fine. For example, okay, the voice, I'm trying to adjust the voice right now. Hopefully it does not affect in any negative way. Alright, let me test. Cool. So now we can just say, for example, number 3. This is number 3. We can update it to be Seth Gooden, for example. Now updated. Sorry, this is a GET request. We need to do a POT request. Extra line. Okay, this need to be like that. Now that it got updated, if we got it, it's gonna be Seth Gooden, and if we got all students, the third one is gonna be self-coded instead. Hopefully you get the idea. So alright. So we need to use those front-end callbacks to make requests to the backend to process data, basically. So let's start with I don't need those. I realize that I don't need those because I already have this. Okay. And so in the front the index page, we are going to remove the select all, deselect all, and then select status. We will add another span next to it, and we would say selected items. So now there's an error, right? Yep, cannot read enough. No. Now we need to remove the select all and deselect all functions or event listeners. Okay, now if I, as you can see, selected items are 0. If I select multiple items, it increases. I just need to add a space over here. So cool. The other thing is when adding a row, I want to get a primary key because I want to, when creating now, so basically the whole table is, its reference number is the ID or the primary key per se that we talked about over here, this one. This makes us identify each row, and as you can see here, it's the index. So when creating a new row, it doesn't have a primary key, so we wouldn't be able to adjust it in any way. For example, if I got back to the page, currently I can, for example, select those and click delete selected, they're gonna get deleted. But if I select refresh and I created blank lines and I tried to delete them, you see they don't get deleted, and it shows me an error, no matching row found, because they don't have a ID or a primary key. So what is the solution? The solution is, when creating a new one, we'll create an AJAX request to this backend, okay, to get a new data. But the thing is, all data is required currently, so we'll need to change it to make them optional. So in the models, we would say null equals true and blank equals true. Null equals true. I think blank is just for the forms, so it's not needed here. Is active, we could give this a default of false. And this would be null equals true. And then we would need to migrate or migrate the changes to the database. So we made the changes, now we would migrate. Cool. Now if I got back to the browser over here, let me run the server first. It's working, and if I went to the admin page, the students page, I can create a new student and don't give it anything and just click save. They're not required. Okay, they are not blank. They're okay. So they are required when creating a form, but not required when making a request, I suppose. So can I say, for example, create something like this? Yep, it works. You see, I just want to get this primary key. So every time I increase, I want to get a new one, and this, which would give me a reference in the table. So if we got back over here, visit site, Call selected items. So now you see we got 2 empty rows because the items we just created here. And now what we want is we have the callbacks over here. So when a new row added, when a new row or in a row updated, when row deleted. Okay, so on each of those events we will do some changes in the backend. So let's see what we're gonna do. So the undo redo, we may disable those because I'm not sure how we can implement them. Maybe we can delay the effect, but it wouldn't be practical. So the add row here, what we would do is so we would say Ajax JavaScript so with Ajax you say HTTP first. The page loaded, the HTML request sends the request to Abod server, the server processes the request, the server sends a response back to the web page, the response is read by JavaScript, proper action like page update is performed by JavaScript. Checks, create an HTML. So, are we supposed to create a new HTTP object every time we want to use? Like, I don't think this is the correct way of doing it. So there must be a more modern way. So creating requests JavaScript. Ajax. Okay. jQuery. Okay, well we don't have jQuery here. Fetch. Yep. I meant this one. So fetch URL. So we can say fetch. So it would be fetch students, but we want to use a different method. So fetch JavaScript. The fetch one takes one required parameter of the endpoint. As the example below, we have data method. Yep. So other parameters, so takes an object. Okay, so you can say fetch, and then you can say method, and for example post, and then you can say then, and the then first then it return the data. Catch. Okay. And this is the error. Okay, so let's say then we'll take a function, I think, right? Yep. So we can say data console.log data, and here we can say .catch error console.log error. Cool. Now if we get back to our page with our console over here, and we could add blank, it gave us a 403 because I suppose, I don't know, it needs certain headers. Status. Okay. Does it? Okay. Forbidden. Let's see. Fetch. Alright, Django. First framework. 403. Post. There is a way to pass the CSRF. Such the recover when you don't have the correct version level, except can be request as an ethical user. Default parameters when you're doing a safe request type that would have site you are using session and you've got when you are doing an safe request type the certain is not good right. Set of visibility RFA with a single model life that contains single answer with the default value of 42. Everything from was straightforward. I set up a model serialize, hitting the API. And how is this different? Header, content length, session ID. Is this supposed to be passed? I think so. So let's say fetch and this page. There is body, okay, and this content type, yep. So we need to pass those. So here we'd say content. Or is it mode? Headers, okay. Headers has a dictionary of okay, that's content type, and then it's a application slash JSON semicolon cursor or character set equals UTF-8. Cool. Then we got the body. Which would be an empty object. Okay. Also, that's weird. Yep, CSRF field missing. Okay. How can we pass this CSRF? Fetch Django. Figured out that just that fish doesn't include cookies by default. Simple solution is to add credentials, same origin to the request, and it works with the for feedback without the headers. I'm not doing form requests, so so headers, so yeah. So we're gonna get it like this. Fetch. We get the CSRF token, and then we pass it to the header as such, right? So here we will say this equals CSRF token, and then if we get back over here, let's say cookies is not defined, huh? What is cookies? Yeah, but it's a third. Ja, the best search and the best data repository. Usually it's a custom system. The rest is that process. A few cookies get works accepts any character heavily tested installation direct download. I just want CDN, yep. Okay, so here let's say now if we get back to the home page, we got a new row, and in the response we get where's the body, body created body, come on, basic locked. Okay, you can check by creating a request to the students, and we're supposed to get 22. Nice, so we have 3 nulls now, and all of them are numbered, which is great because we will need to use those to use the IDs to access them. So for example, if I now select and click delete, it works, as you can see. Now I'm not sure what's this. Define okay, data length, raw deleted is data.length. Okay, they can access data, which is, I think something like this should fix it. So now, yep. So now what is, okay, now to the 2021, lovely. Selected items undefined. Alright, so we need to make it not undefined. It should have a okay. After raw is deleted, so raw is undefined. Okay, I get that. Isn't raw just how, why would this have the data length? Okay, so this won't work. Just like that. This raw selection changed. Yeah. Now this to selected, delete selected, they got deleted. The problem is this not getting updated. So we need to update this, but not to data length, but to 0. And I think text 0. So now delete selected, it gets back to 0 and it deselects. And we solved the bug. Nice. Now here, when a new row is added, Okay, we don't need this anymore, I think. Now raw updated, this would make a put request. Deleted would make a delete request, and it already makes a get request to get all the students. So we're good. And we can filter like this. Table add raw, add raw, raw. Okay. Now here we need to create a so we don't need this, okay? Because it creates in the database level. No, it does not. Okay, so just get this back, but instead of creating it here, we are going to create it here, and the p key would be the data. I'm not sure how am I supposed to access the data. So data dot. Gonna try this. Undefined. Okay, so there is the response and there is the data, so there is a difference. Where is it? This is the data, this is the response. I want the response. Data.json. So we need two then. So here would be then. This would be the response. Console.log response. We'll need this, and here it's a return data.json. Now if we look the page again, yep, we get an object, which is nice. And now here we can see res.pk, for example, it's 26, which then if we paste this, we can say response dot primary key, and this will look, yep, that's it. Now if we created another one, 27, we don't want the console log anymore, so we're gonna delete this. And what else? Now when deleting, yes, there is delete selected. Where is delete? Empty the table. For this, maybe we'll make a loop that would look up through all the selected items and delete them on delete. And yeah. What if they wanna like update? For example, like make like all of them. What if I want to are them as active? I don't think this is not sure. So yep. I will remove those. Okay, so we have add, we have delete selected, and what we want is raw updated. I'm not sure why I don't get the raw updated callbacks. So in the documentation, I don't want those pages. The callbacks, we want raw callbacks, or maybe cell, and it can also be set globally. Double click, right click, click tab, double tab, tab hold, mouse enter, mouse leave, mouse out, cell editing, cancelled, cell edited, is changed. Okay, let's check this instead. Console.log cell. What do we get over here? We want the row. Okay. The row which has the data thread ID as 3. Last name gotten is active is false. Nice. What if I changed, for example, this to, yep, now that it's false, it's gonna update the data. Where's the column? It's draw, then data. So this is the new state, yep. Cool. Can we get this as an object? Let's see. So we have cell dot raw dot data dot raw dot data. Data of undefined. So it's not raw. Interesting. It's underscore cell dot raw dot data. Yep. Can I extract primary key, for example? Nice. Cool. So on changes, we need to create a fetch request to the students. Okay, let's change this to text first. Student slash. Okay, this is going to be with those backtick, so we can add variables inside of it. So we can say here, for example, here we can say primary key equals, and then we can take all of this, and then here we can say primary key, and then we can type the URL over here to students. Now fetch, and okay, let's copy this. Change this to be with backticks, and then this with the primary key. Headers, JSON, CSRF token, post, but it's instead of post, it's gonna be put, and the body would be content. Okay, and we are going to define content over here, or data content. Okay, it's going to equal to, let's say, let data equals, then here you can say data dot primary key, this content equals data, or you can save yourself some text and could just say data. Here we can print data. Maybe we should just stringify it. I'm not sure. Okay, let's go with that. So we'd say let content content. Right, so we have then, we don't want to add a row, so here we will say console.log response. How did it look before? Response, okay. Response, and in raw deleted we are going to take this same thing, okay. But instead of put request, I'm gonna make a delete request, and we don't need any content, and the rest will stay the same, and this should do it. So let's try that delete. So cell is not defined. Raw deleted. Yeah, of course, because it's per row. So let's see what we have over here. Delete selected. We got raw underscore dot data. So raw dot underscore raw dot data. Cool. Now, if I delete it like that, I have 4th and 5th. That's gonna be the same. Raw deleted. What is the problem? So if I deleted those, they go back. Okay, so it's not exactly what we're intending to do. So reference user token is not defined. Anonymous. For each length 1. Okay, see, as RF token is not defined. Unexpected end of JSON input. Okay, I need to. Maybe we shouldn't have stringified it. What is the error? Okay, which one did we delete? Primary 6. It's Tanner Moreno. You see, it got deleted. Nice. Now for the update, if I said so now if I update it now, it's right there. Nice. We can say James, for example, and then James Clear. And if you refresh the page, it's right there, going nowhere. So, and then if we deleted those 3, for example, now I just want to solve this, 93, this, yep, because the delete doesn't return anything, I suppose. It let's check over here. Student number 3, for example. Delete. Yep, it doesn't return anything, so we'll just leave the catch. Yep. Okay. So now, for example, if you want to delete those, you can say delete selected, and now if I refresh, they're deleted. I can add a new row and add from okay, bot request, bad request. Why is that? This field may not be blank. It can be blank. Why it can't be blank? It should be able to be stay blank. Interesting. So the problem is it gives it an empty value, which is not exactly what it wants. Oops. Why can't I change this country? Hello there. Okay, this is the new created. Okay. They don't have the so we've got a bug here. For all new created, okay, this is a newly created and it just works. I think it has to do with the, you see, yeah, it scrolls it up. So how can we expect this, catch this? Let's see. So I think what it does is, if I make a get request over here, I copy this, you can't just pass an empty string like this and say post. This field may not be blank. So what's the solution? We're gonna go to the models. We are going to blank, and we would say it can be blank. Who says it can't? Then we can go over here. Okay, we'll migrate, make migrations core. Then we are going to migrate the changes, and now we can run the server. equal. Now if we refresh here, so let's remove this because it's kinda. Now if we said, for example, anything and then we skip this, it doesn't complain now, but this still won't work. So if this has an empty value, that the one after it is kind of gets screwed. The question is why? I'm sure that this has something to do with it, or is it? There is an add, where is the add? Yeah, add row. We need to create a default for this countries thing. So where's the models? Default equals US. Okay. Still, problem is not solved yet, at least. So it's not here. The problem is not here, but we can leave it at US. The problem is here. US, US, UK, Canada, Canada. Why are some work with some? Is it the ID? Why do they now work, but that's actually weird. Alright, so now we just need some styling. So here we would create static. folder, index.css, and then here you would say at the top load static, and then here you say link CSS, and then here you would say body background color red or whatever color, just to make sure it's working, and it's not. So static URL, I think. Static Django. So load static, then static, and then you pass the URL. In the browser, for example, static my outer example. So core style, okay, it's index. Still body for what? The static, right? Okay, static style sheet. I think we need to enable in the settings. Static URL. To the effect that we used, no. Index.css core static. Okay. It has nothing to do with it. Okay. Static. Okay, there's no URL, dude. Load static. Index CSS. Load static. Where is settings? Static. Reverse it if you don't have check this. Nice. So now here's the styling. But we didn't need any of those. First, let's get a good font. Google Fonts. Almost, yep, this looks good to me. License, download family. I need this and this. And then we're gonna say import. Okay. Then for the usage, it's gonna be like this. So here it's say body. Students management, nice. Then okay, we should move this to another JavaScript. So here it's say index.javascript, and we take all of this. And here it says script source static. Oh my god, static. And then here it say core/index.javascript. If we refresh this, I don't know, confirm that we can still do our stuff. Nice. Alright, so I made this in a separate file. Now we need to style those things. So the table, table, we want it to be in the center. Okay, let's make everything inside a container. The container. Okay, and then we'd say width 70%, and if we select this, styles width 50%, 70%, and then we'd say margin auto, yep, and then okay 70% auto, and then what we want to do is let's apply those first. Margin auto, it's a class, it's not the center. 50%. Now this is at the center, I suppose. Yep. And can be extended, which is great. Nice. And we can now create some margin over here. So this would be in a buttons class, buttons div. So was it a class? Yep. Div margin 1am call, and the buttons, it's just the margin. I want it to be top, like 1 and then 0am. Yep, something like that. And then what we want is, I want this to be at the far right, so here it would say display flex, and then span, select stats, would be self align self flex end. Okay, flex sheet. Alright, flex cheat sheet. This is really helpful to understand the different flex settings and how they affect the style or the layout. So flex and this justify content. Okay, so this is applied to the container or to the parent, but I just want to align items, align self, align content, wrap, flow order, justify content, and center, space between. Yep, space between. I'm gonna take this and throw in here. We'll not need this, and this should do it. Oh god, not all of that. Okay, can you detach this for me, please? Why is this? Okay, so the table's not exactly, and the text is not the center. Okay, this will not exactly work as I intended. So let's say text align center, just to make sure we got this configured properly. Okay, now for this, yep, Now it looks much better. For this we need to make it like thinner per se, so we can go with center space evenly maybe. And I want this and okay, now we need to style those. Button, we'd give it a border of 0. We'd give it some padding, 3 pixels. Type button, type button. So okay, let's say background color. And then color white, and then button hover cursor, where is it? Context default grab, not grab. Pointer. Yep, this is the correct one. I just need to add some padding of like 10 pixels. That's big. Maybe 5 pixels. Nice. Nice. Refreshed, perfect. Nice, and that's it, guys. Oh my god, I think I need to make this into a shorter version. It's total about 4 hours, and yeah, hope you've enjoyed it. If someone is watching till this point of the stream. But overall, I think, yeah, I had some fun. Yep, thank you guys for watching, and peace out.